Good morning, students. Welcome to the class. In the previous class, we have completed quadratic surfaces. Okay. So, today I will teach you spline representation. Okay. In the previous class, we have completed quadratic surfaces. In the quadratic surfaces, the common quadratic surfaces are sphere and ellipsoids. Okay, and also another quadratic surfaces are torus. Okay, all these things completed in the previous class. So in the today's class we have studied spline representation. So let us discuss in detail. Okay. Spline representation. Okay, a spline is a flexible strip used to produce a smooth curve through a designated set of points. Okay, that means a set of points. Using the set of points we can create a spline. Okay, this is also a type of strip. Okay, several small weights are distributed along the length of the strip to hold it in position on the drafting tables as the curve is drawn. That means spline representation is also a type of curve. Okay, the spline curve refers to any section curve formed with polynomial section satisfying specified continuity condition at the boundary of the pieces. That means it refers to the different curved sections formed with a polynomial portion. Okay, that satisfy the continuity condition. So continuity condition of the at the boundary of the curve. Okay, so different types of continuity curves we discuss in later. So next, a spline surface can be described with two sets of orthogonal spline curves. That means in a spline curve there are two parts of the curve can be combined or joined together. Okay. Okay. Splines are used in graphics applications to design curve and surface shapes. Okay. To digitize drawings for computer storage and to specify animation path for the objects or the camera in the scene. That means splines are used in graphics applications in a different purpose. So what are the different purposes? First, to design the curve and surface shapes, then digitize drawings for computer storage and specify animation paths for the objects or the camera scenes. Okay, all these things can be possible using the splines. So splines are used in computer graphics applications. Okay. CAD applications for splines include the design for automobile bodies, aircraft and spacecraft surfaces and ship hulls. That means in the CAD application also splines are used. It will used to design the automobile bodies, aircraft and spacecraft surfaces. Okay. A spline smooth curve defined mathematically using a set of constants. Okay. Here one example of figure of the splines. This one is your spline curve. It look like this. And here is one cap. Will design how this one is designed using the different types of spline curves. Okay. All these things are also discussed in detail. spline have many uses. It can be used in 2D illustration, font, 3D modeling and animations. Okay. Next we discuss interpolation and approximation splines. What is interpolation and what is approximation splines? Okay. Spline curve can be specified by a set of coordinate position called control points, which indicates the general shape of the curve. That means the spline curve can be specified using a set of coordinate positions or set of control points. So in a spline curves, number of control points are there. Okay. Here the dots are the control points. There are 4 dots. The 4 dots are the control points. Using these control points, we can draw a curve. Okay. These control points are fitted with precise continuous parametric polynomial functions in one of the 2 ways. That means these control points are fitted in a continuous parametric polynomial function. So these control points are using in the continuous parametric polynomial function in a 2 way or in 2 form. Okay. One is interpolation spline, another one is approximation spline. Let us discuss what is interpolation spline. Okay. When polynomial sections are fitted so that the curve passes through each control point, the resulting curve is said to interpolate the set of control points. That spline is known as interpolation spline. Okay. That means in the interpolation spline, all the spline section, when the curve passes through each control point, then the resulting curve is known as a interpolation spline. Okay. That means the interpolation spline is a set of control points. The set of control points are connected with each other. Okay. In this figure, a set of 6 control points interpolated with precise continuous polynomial section. Okay. Here the red dots are the control points. Okay. All the red dots are connected using a continuous path. Okay. Or continuous polynomial path. This curve is known as a spline curve, where all the control points are connected. Okay. Next we will discuss approximation spline. When curve section follow general control point path without necessarily passing through any control point, the resulting curve is said to approximate the set of control points, and that curve is known as approximation spline curve. Okay. So here in this figure, there are, this one is your first endpoint, this one is your second endpoint. Okay. And in between first and last endpoints, there are different, this one is your first control point and this one is your last control point. In between first and last control point, there are so many, some 4 control points are there. But in the approximation spline, not necessarily, without necessarily passing through any control point. That means all the curve path goes like through the control points, but not necessarily touch the or or put the or connect using connect the control point, but the control point is look like in that in which way the curve also can goes that way. Okay, so this type of curve is known as approximation spline curve. Spline curve can be modified by selecting different control point positions. We can apply transformation on the curve according to need like translation, scaling, etc. Okay, so this one is your, these tools are your interpolation spline and approximation spline. In the approximation spline, not necessarily all the control points are uh, all the control points are connected or touched. Okay, but in interpolation spline all the control points are connected. Okay, next one is your convex hull. The convex polygon boundary that encloses a set of control points is called convex hull. That means the convex polygon, the polygon boundary encloses a set of control points. This is known as convex hull. Okay. Think one elastic band stretch out around the control point so that each point is either on the perimeter of the hull or inside it. That means when we stretch a elastic band, it will expand it, and when it expand it, the number of control points are there. When we remove this, then it will to give again in the original position. That means the elastic bands are stretched out. Again when we relax this, and it will in the original position. That means the convex hull provide a measure of the deviation of a curve or a surface from the origin bounding the control points. Some splines are bounded by the convex hull, that ensuring that the polynomials smoothly follow the control points. That means in this figure here 4 control points is there: P0, P0, P1, P2, P2, P3, P0, P1, P2, P3. So in this way P0 then P1, that means the curve is look like down, the curve is goes down, then P2 is in the top of the position, then the curve is upwards, then P3 is the left side, then curve is in this way. So the control points are arranging in that order, the curve is also in this way. Okay, and another example is here. This one is your quadrilateral and this one is your triangle. P0, P1, P2. That means the curve line is this way. Okay. So here are convex hull shape of 2 sets of control points. Next one is your control graph. A polyline connecting the sequence of control points for an approximation spline. Okay, is usually displayed to remind a designer of the control point ordering. That means here the in which order the control points are placed, the curve line also placed in that order. Okay, this set of connected line segment is often referred to as control graph of the curve. Okay, control graph is also referred to as control polygon or characteristics polygon. Here also there P0, P1. Then first position, then down the control points is this one, downwards, then upwards, then downwards. So in this way the curve also present, but in the convex rule it will a quadrilateral, but here it is little bit different. It is not a triangular quadrilateral shape, but quadrilateral shape, but only control points are the order. So this figure is your control graph shape for two different set of control points. Okay. Next we will discuss parametric continuity condition. In parametric continuity condition, for smooth transition from one curve section to next curve section, that means the smooth transition is only from one curve section to next curve section. This type of condition is known as parametric continuity condition. Okay, we put various continuity condition are needed at connection points. Let parametric coordinate function as x equal to x of u, y equals to y of u, z equals to z of u. Here u1 less than equal to u less than equal to u2. That means u is in the range of u1 and u2. Okay. Next, we set parametric continuity by matching the parametric derivatives of adjoining the curve section at their common boundary. There are three types of parametric continuity condition. Okay, one is your zero order, and next one is your first order, last one is your second order. So here there are, that means three types of parametric continuity conditions. Okay, let us discuss one by one. First one is your zero order parametric continuity condition. Zero order parametric continuity is also referred to as C0 continuity. That means in the zero order parametric continuity, the curves are meet at one point. Okay, that means the value of x, y, z evaluated at u2 for the first curve section are equal respectively the value of the xyz evaluated at u1 for the next curve section. Now this one is your one curve section. Okay, here there are two curves are there. This one is one curve and this one is one curve. The two curves are connecting in a intersection point. Okay, so the point, that means the first curve ending control point is the first control point of the second curve. Okay, that means the ending point is the starting point of the second curve. So next we discuss first order parametric continuity. First order parametric continuity is referred to as C1 continuity. That means the first parametric derivatives of the coordinate function in equation for two successive curve sections are equal at their joining point. That means here this one is one curve section and this one is another curve section. This one is 1, this one is 2. So the two curve sections are joining at one point and it can create a full curve line. Okay. Next one is our second order parametric continuity. In the second order parametric continuity, the first and second parametric derivative of the two curve section are equal at their intersection. Equation A for two successive curve sections are equal at their joining point. That means these two curve sections are equal at a intersection point. Okay, so this is also known as C2 continuity condition. So in parametric continuity condition, higher order parametric continuity can be obtained similarly. First order continuity is often sufficient for general application, but some graphics packages like CAD require second order continuity for accuracy. Okay, let us discuss geometric continuity condition. Another method is our geometric continuity condition. In geometric continuity condition, joining of two successive curve sections is to specify a condition for geometric continuity. Okay, in this case, the parametric derivatives of the two sections should be proportional to each other at their common boundary instead of equal to each other. Okay, that means both are common at the intersection point. Okay, geometric continuity condition also three types. One is your zero order, first order and second order. Okay, let us discuss zero order. Zero order geometric continuity is also referred to as G0. Okay, it is same as the parametric zero order continuity condition, where two curve sections are meet at one intersection point. That is, the two curve sections must have same coordinate position at the boundary point. Okay, that means the coordinate value of the two curve sections are same at the boundary point. Next one is our first order geometric continuity. First order geometric continuity also referred to as G1. That means the parametric first derivative are proportional at the intersection of two successive sections. It is not necessary that its magnitude will be equal, but the tangent directions must be same magnitude may differ. Okay, and last one is your second order geometric condition. Second order geometric condition is also referred to as G2. In this condition, both parametric first and second derivative are proportional at the intersection of two successive points. It is not necessary that its magnitude will be equal. This one is also in your first order geometric condition. Okay, with geometric continuity curve is pulled towards the section with the greater tangent vector. That means in the example, this one, the first figure is your parametric continuity condition, but in the second figure is your geometric continuity condition. Okay, in the second figure, where tangent vector C3, okay, tangent vector C3 at point P1, this one is your P1 point, okay, has a greater magnitude than the tangent vector of C1 at P1. That means the C3 and C1 is the less magnitude, but C3 is your more magnitude. But in case of parametric condition, both are same, like equal. Okay, so this one is your spline representation. So in this class we will learn spline representation. In the spline representation, we have learned control graph and different what is the control points, okay, convex hull, and two types of parametric condition. One is your geometry and another is your two types of continuity condition. One is your geometry continuity and another is your parametric continuity.